retire early,
Financial
but
independence,
yeah,
retire.
financial independence,
Yeah.
retire early. There we go. So that whole mindset is all about just sucking it up early in your career so you can have leisure later in your career. So some of this idea that you're discussing sounds to me sort of the counter argument. Would you agree with that? Or
I would, it's like live and let live. If that's really what you want to do, who am I to say you shouldn't? But I personally have a lot of issues with the fire movement, and that's been really popular amongst my kind of
yeah,
generation and demographic.
right.
I think that people, like, I think it's a positive thing on its face. It's being very intentional about your money and financial decisions, which
Hmm.
is a good thing. But I think what people who are very strictly adhering to that movement don't fully appreciate is kind of the opportunity cost, right? What are you giving up in order to achieve that? And so, for example, like I think somebody who was a big fire person would probably say, no, you shouldn't go get like your weekly latte at a coffee shop with your friends because you can make coffee at home for cheaper. Or, no, you shouldn't go on that ski trip with your friends because skiing's really expensive and, you can save that money and it'll compound, et cetera. And it's like, yes, that, from a logical perspective, yes, that's correct. But what you're missing out on are certain experiences and relationship building that may not be available to you whenever you actually do have that financial independence. And
Right.
that's something that's really key to me. Like, I think about, I often refer back to this kind of silly trip that I took when I was probably 23, maybe probably younger, maybe 22 years old. So I had like no money at the time, right? I had just started working, paying student loan debt, all of that. And my friends and I took a weekend trip to Vegas, of course, what you do when you're 22 years old. And, we had no business spending money going to Vegas and staying at a nice hotel on the strip. Like that, we should not have done that, financially speaking. A fire movement person would say absolutely not. But we talk about that trip. We're,
Right.
we're in our 30s now. We talk about that trip all the time. And
Yeah.
guess what? We would not go on that trip
Right.
now, not a chance.
Right.
And so there's certain experiences that you can really only have at certain stages of life that you can't go back and get after you've been saving up.
That's
Um,
right.
Ski trip is kind of another example. I mean, a lot of people ski well into retirement, but not everyone has the physical mobility
Right.
and desire to ski in retirement. And so I'm very cognizant of the fact that there's certain experiences that kind of have an more or less an expiration window.
Right.
And if you're deferring everything until retirement, it's going to expire and you're just not going to have that experience in your life.
Yeah.